What's up, YouTube? Edge Obsessed here. Here with a top 10 video. It's in no particular order, just like my top 5 videos. However, sometimes there's knives that I have doubles of, so I'm just going to show them to you because why not? I'm going to do some runners up. I'm going to do, first off, this knife that I just got is really beautiful. This is the Boker Magnum. In Damascus and ebony. It's got these beautiful pins here. I hope that's focusing really well. Like brass pins, and then this really decorative one. Wonder if we can get that in focus. It's very, very beautiful. And the blade steel is Damascus, and it is beautifully done. Boker has just really killed it with this knife. The patterns are just unreal. This feels really nice in your hand, guys. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous knife. But that's enough. That's just a runner-up fixed blade. I'm going to move through this kind of quickly because it's a top 10 and I made top 5 videos last way too long. So runner-up folding knife is the Speedster. This knife's fantastic. So it's a blue anodized titanium, or rather, or is it aluminum? I don't remember. I didn't previously look up everything about all of these knives. I just wanted to just casually go through it. But it's a blue anodized hardware. The pivot is gorgeous. The one side is like just says "we" on it, but it's very nice. All the other hardware is blue anodized titanium. The action on this knife is unreal. The only reason this is a runner-up is it feels really good in your hand, but it's I don't know. It's just maybe a little too small for me. But the action is fantastic. The blade shape is awesome. I forget the blade steel of this, and I don't think there's anything written on this blade. I want to say it's Nitro V, but I know that I'm wrong. So I don't know. Drop it in the comments if you guys know. So the next knife is a Finch knife, the Finch Buffalo Tooth. Those of you that have followed me for a while have seen this before. I love this knife. It's such a weird little stubby blade. It just says Finch on the blade, and the other side, it's a 154 cm, and it just says the model name, Buffalo Tooth. I think I can get it to focus there. Yeah, there you go. Frame lock. I think they're steel bolsters, and I'm not sure the type of wood that this is, but it's very pleasing to the eyes. The wood grain is really nice. It's just a really well put together knife, and I don't know why Finch knives aren't a bigger company, because they do really quality work. Anyway, that's the Finch knife Buffalo Tooth. Next knife was one of my earliest favorites. I love this knife. The size, the weight, just the way it feels in your hand. This is the Boker Lighter XL. It's just a fantastic knife. A button lock. The blade steel is 154 cm as well. Very smooth action. This knife is just fantastic, and it's like a 4-inch long blade, I believe. This is a big knife, and you don't really... I mean, it looks long when you look at it, but when you really get it in your hand, this knife is... she's pretty big. The action really good. I've taken it apart a few times to clean it and stuff, and I don't think I put it together right the last time because the there's some serious lock stick on the plunge lock. You can hear it. Oh, it needs to engage with a little bit more force. Listen. You hear that click? It's just like metal on metal. So I think I put the spring in a little wonky or something. But that's definitely one of my favorite knives. Newer acquisition, the Kuby Atlas. This is all titanium frame lock, like a blue-green anodizing to the backspacer, the pocket clip, and all the hardware. It's got this whole like a Warncliffe style blade. This knife is fantastic, guys. It's a very cool knife. Yeah, just Kuby really killed it with this. I don't carry this a lot just because of the type of finish on the scales and the knife itself. They just really show scratches and damage really well. So this is like not a safe queen because it's not a crazy expensive knife. But it's just a gorgeous knife, and I would hate to scratch this thing up. Blade steel on this, I cannot remember. I think this is D2. I cannot remember, guys. But yeah, that's the Kuby Atlas. Next knife is a big knife that I just recently got. This is my first cold steel folding knife. It's the 8010. I'm waiting on some aluminum scales for this thing from our original goat. Cannot wait for those to come in. This thing is like, I want to say it's larger than 4-inch blade. I want to say it's like 4 and change or 4 1/4 or something like that. This knife is huge. It's the only backlock knife that I own. I'm not a big fan of backlocks. It's not very fidgety. It's really easy to cut yourself. Not like no shot at this knife. I love this knife. I think I'm actually going to start carrying this a lot more just because it really is so durable. This thing is a tank, you know? I don't normally do stupid things like pry with blades or anything like that, but this thing is very thick. Yeah, I just have a lot of confidence when I'm carrying this. There's a lot you can do with this, and you're not gonna hurt it ever, I don't think. This thing is a tank. But yeah, that's the Cold Steel 8010. Triad lock, the strongest lock, aside from the shark lock, Andrew Demco design. The next knife is a classic knife. It's a little bit dressed up. This is my Spyderco PM2. It's got brass titanium scales on it that are showing some wear and patina, but just a really classic, beautiful knife. I've got this lanyard filler with like a compass image on it. It's really nice. I don't remember where that came from. I believe it was Mettenboss. But yeah, this is my Spyderco PM2 with brass titanium scales, Lynch clip. Yeah, just a classic, beautiful knife. Next knife is one of my personal favorites. It's the ZT0562, the hinderer of the ZT world. Just slabs of titanium as the scales. Black hardware, flipper tab. This is not a thumb stud. Anyone who doesn't own this knife, this is I forget the word for it, but like stopper lugs. It just stops the knife and just locks it in place when it's open. I also, anyone who's been following me for any time at all knows that I have a second one of these. that I heat anodize myself, and out of all the things that I've heat anodized, this has come out the best. Nothing else had such vivid patterns on it. This just came out really nicely, guys, and I love this knife. It's been through a lot because the way I made some mistakes heat anodizing it, and I screwed up all the hardware. I had to reach out to ZT to get a brand new set. But it's got brand new screws and hardware. I forget what they're called right now. My brain is mush. Yeah, just this knife. This will always, the 0562 will always be in any of my top lineups. This particular knife, the one that I heat anodized. I'm really proud of this knife. The camera does not do it justice. It is so gorgeous. But yeah, that's the ZT0562. Next knife up is the Demco 80 20.5 with OG original goat aluminum scales on it. I don't remember where I got this deep carry pocket clip, and I realistically should get a different one that's titanium or stainless or aluminum or something and have it match, but I haven't gotten around to that yet. But the 80 20.5 is just a fantastic knife. In fact, it is so fantastic that you have to get it in both blade shapes. And so here's the Warncliffe. Different style, but from the same company, from Original Goat. A different look of aluminum scales. They do such a great job, guys. Such a great job. Just so you can see the whole 9 yards. Here, obviously, I made this one match, and it does look a lot better. I honestly, the first one of these that I got was the shark's foot blade. But the second I found out that it came in a clip point, I had to have it. And for a little while, I preferred this. But honestly, this is just such a useful blade shape. It is just so convenient to do most things. And so I do tend to carry the shark's foot more often than the clip point. But this is the most fidget-friendly knife. I can just sit there all day just opening and closing this knife. It's just so convenient, so fun. I love this knife. Andrew Demco is one of the best knife designers that I know of. And the 80 20.5 is just a beautiful, fantastic, fidget-friendly, wonderful knife. Next up is a more recent addition to my collection as well. It's the Spyderco Jimbo 2. I got these scales here from DNA Lasering. It's like Celtic knots and sort of like a Gaelic theme, and they are so beautiful. Their laser engraving is pretty deep. You can really feel it. It adds texture to the whole thing, and they just do a beautiful job. And this knife is very smooth. This knife is on washers, guys, not bearings, and this is how it's just completely drop shut. It's a freaking amazing knife, and I don't carry this enough. It definitely needs to be in my pocket more often. Don't remember where I got this deep carry pocket clip, but it's very tight. It really fucks up your pants and rips up your pockets. But it's a really nice clip. It's very secure once it's in. It's just kind of annoying to put into your pocket and take out. But I love this knife, and these scales are unreal. Man, some of these companies that make third-party scales, they just do such a great job. So next up, we're almost through it, guys. I only got 2 knives left, but I have multiple versions of each one. Next up is the Spyderco Smok. This one is in brass titanium as well, with another, the lanyard filler is like a honeycomb pattern. I don't know if that's showing up all that well. This was my favorite, my number one top favorite knife for quite a while. I don't want to say that it's being replaced, but I have some other, like some of these other knives I carry just as much and do have quite a bit of love, but this particular Smok, Spyderco Smok, is definitely always going to be one of my top favorites. I love this knife. I haven't been doing the blade steel. I missed a bunch, but I'm not going to go back. This is an S30V. And I have a second one with some oil slick black zirconium scales from Boss. Both of these knives have amazing action. Just unreal, guys. This knife is amazing. Obviously an S30V as well. Milled zirconium clip with the same oil slick pattern on it. Those of you who've been watching me for a while know that these thumb studs, they're not stock. They're just cheap little Chinese things off Amazon. But they really add to the Smok, especially to the Smok. Yeah, it just makes them quite a bit better. All right, guys, and the last on the list. Could you guess that it was another Spyderco? And it's the Spyderco Shaman. This particular one has black zirconium Boss scales. This thing weighs a ton, guys. A ton. I don't remember what it is, but I don't have a scale out here because I'm actually in the process of moving. I just bought a house. I move in November 20th, and I cannot wait. But I'll have a much better place to make these videos. After that, you know, better lighting, better setups, everything. So the video should really improve. And then I just have one more of these, and it's Spyderco Shaman in titanium scales. And I love if I had to go into the wilderness and I had to just pick one of these knives, it might not be my absolute favorite knife, but the Shaman, just being as heavy duty as it is, would be probably the knife that I took with me. Like, if it had to be a folding knife and not a fixed blade, I think I would take the Shaman. If you asked me which one of these I would take, I would probably take the black zirconium Boss one, just because of the weight. With this knife closed, it is still a weapon. You can do anything with this knife. Anyway, guys, that's my top 10. I know it was a lot more than 10 knives, but I have some doubles, and why not show them off? I just want you guys to see them, because if you're as passionate about knives as I am, obviously you want to see them all. But yeah, that's it. That's my top 10, guys. Soon I'll be in the new house with a lot more room to be able to do some more interesting videos, and I'm looking forward to creating a lot more interesting content for you guys. But yeah, that's it. So Edge Obsessed out. You guys have a good night. Take care.